Ladies and gentlemen, concerts are back, and what better way to celebrate that than to go to New York City to see the greatest rock and roll band today, the Foo Fighters. It's not every day you get the opportunity to see your favorite band play in an iconic arena like Madison Square Garden. So I took my dumb hit country ass from OKC to NYC, and for me, this was like a dream come true. Growing up in Oklahoma, we did not have any NBA teams to root for. Growing up in the 80s and the 90s, the closest team that I had was the Dallas Mavericks, and they were pretty bad at the time. So I decided to follow the New York Knicks because they had a shooting guard named John Starks who was from Tulsa, and he went to Oklahoma State University, which is the school I ended up going to. So they became my default team until the Thunder came along. So for me, going to an event in Madison Square Garden has always been a bucket list item. And for this being my first trip to New York, it made it even more special. The energy in the building was fucking amazing. Just knowing that everyone in there was vaccinated, which to me means that we all cared about each other's well-being. Not like there was a bunch of anti-vaxxer, dumbass assholes in there who clearly do not care about each other's well-being. It was just nice being around, 15, 16, 17,000, how many people were there. Just knowing that we're all as one, we're all family, we all went through this together, and this is almost like a reward for us being able to get vaccinated so we can get back to rocking and rolling and getting to watch such great bands as the Foo Fighters. They started off the 2-hour and 45-minute show with Times Like These, with Rami and Dave doing the intro. And I'll be honest, for the past 18 months, I've kind of got tired of this song, just because it seems like they were always playing this song anytime they were doing a virtual concert or the musical guests on SNL. It kind of got old. I get it. It was like kind of the anthem of, hey, things will get better, yada, yada, yada. But listening to it live, I swear everyone in the house was in tears. And if you weren't, if you didn't have tears, you're either a psycho, or you're a goddamn liar. But after that intro, and once the band starts rocking out, my goosebumps went away, and it just felt like old times, to be quite honest with you. After Times Like These, they played The Pretender and Learn to Fly. Then on the fourth song, we get our first song from the new album, Medicine at Midnight, with No Son of Mine. This is probably my favorite song from the new album, and it translates really well live, to be quite honest with you. And since we still had the backup singers out, they played Sky's the Neighborhood and Shame Shame. Even after several months of this song being out, I'm still kind of mixed on the studio version of Shame, but listening to it live, it's not bad at all. It's pretty good. Of the 4 songs from the new album that were played, I was kind of surprised they didn't play Waiting on a War, which gets quite a bit of airplay here in Oklahoma, and probably my second favorite song from the new album. So hopefully in the shows I'll be seeing in August, hopefully they'll get around to playing that one. Following a few more songs, which included hits such as My Hero and These Days, and along with the band's introductions, we get to hear Taylor Hawkins on the mic. And his song that he decided to sing was Queen's Somebody Love, which is probably one of my top 3 favorite Queen songs. Now, I'm musically challenged, but I would have to assume with some of the high notes in that song, that's probably a difficult song to sing. So it was probably a good idea they still had the backup singers, but I thought he did a good job. I thought he hit it out of the park. Next, we get some real bangers, including Arlandria, Breakout, and Monkey Wrench, in which Dave accidentally forgot some of the lyrics.
One last thing before I quit, I never thought I'd ever been. Find these fucking shit in my head, I can't remember the fucking words, it's been too fucking years.
To me, this is one of the things that makes the Foo Fighters the best band in the world. The personality of Dave and him not taking himself too seriously really adds to the live shows. Now to the song that really got the internet all buzzed up, Dave motherfucking Chappelle.
Game. Blouses.
Now I had to admit I wasn't 100% surprised by Dave Chappelle coming out because I could actually see the set list that was sitting right beside the camera before the show, and I kind of zoomed in on it, took a picture, and kind of spoiled it for myself, but it did make a difference. It was still pretty awesome to see Dave Chappelle up there singing Creep by Radiohead. Never in a million years would I ever think to see the Foo Fighters and Dave Chappelle actually doing a song in front of tens of thousands of people. And to Chappelle's credit, he actually didn't do too terrible of a job. It was actually pretty decent. To round out the set list before the encore included All My Life, This Is a Call, Best of You, and a song they've only played a handful of times over the last 10 years, Aurora, which is just a beautiful song, and honestly, I really do wish they would play it more often. During the Best of You, which was the last song before the encore, there was a stage diver. I don't know how in the hell this guy made it up on the stage, totally blasted out of his mind, takes a dive, pretty sure no one caught him. And what's funny is this took place probably not even 5-10 feet away from me, and I didn't even see the dude dive. But what I did notice was right when that happened, I felt a cold rush of water. I don't know, it felt like bottled water or something hit my back and hit a couple of my other friends' back too. We kind of look around and see what the hell's going on. Next thing we know, we see this dude just getting kind of thrown over the guardrail. There's this dude in orange, and he was not having it. Threw his ass over the guardrail for security to handle. But yeah, that was pretty wild. And honestly, I didn't notice that even happened until the next day when I'm just dicking around on the internet and I just see this dumbass just take a stage dive. But kudos to the guy in orange. He definitely wasn't having any of that. For the encore, we get one last dose of Medicine Midnight with Starting a Fire, followed by the debut of disco's hottest new band, the DGs, who covered You Should Be Dancing by the Bee Gees. If I'm being honest, I'm curious as to what 1979 Pat Smear would be saying to 2021's Pat Smear right now. Something tells me he wouldn't approve, but I'm glad Pat has evolved as a person and a musician to where he's comfortable enough doing this. Now, I'm not sure the DGs will ever make it as a live band, but it was a nice, fun change of pace to listen to. And of course, they close out the show with Everlong, to no one's surprise. Overall, this felt like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me to experience being able to watch my favorite band reopen one of the more iconic arenas in the country, if not the world. And hopefully I never had to experience a reopening of concert venues because of a pandemic ever again. Not that we're over this pandemic. We are by far, we're on the tail end of it, but still got a ways to go. If I had to nitpick anything, it would be that they played a song from every album except for Sonic Highways. Would have been nice to hear either Outside or Something from Nothing, which is a really good song to listen to live. Also, of the 5 shows I've seen them live at, they have still yet to play For All the Cows or Let It Die. So, Dave, if you're listening, hook a brother up, play For All the Cows or Let It Die. I will pay you the $1.29 it usually costs for a song. Also, I've always said, this is kind of a rule on my end. If you're a band like the Foo Fighters who have all these hits and you do have a new album, play no more than 4 songs from the new album, and they hit that mark just fine. Just kind of wish I would have heard Waiting on a War, but really, this is just really nitpicky shit on my end. Overall grade for this concert is obviously an A+. I may be biased in the band, but anyone who was there is going to tell you that this was probably one of the greatest concert experiences of their lifetime. And if anyone gave this anything less than an A+,
you are a smelly pirate hooker.
I really feel the time off for Mr. Grohl has done wonders for his voice. And like I said, of the 5 times I've seen him, this was by far the best he's ever sounded. Before I close this video out, I just want to say of all the songs that I shot, I've uploaded to my personal page. You can get the links in the descriptions. A big shout out to my Foo family, including Margaret, Diana, Jill, Erica, Emily, Brad, Lisa. I'm sure there's probably a couple more I'm missing. I apologize. These are some really rad people to hang out with, and I can't wait to do it again in the future. And another shout out to the doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals for literally giving their lives for us to finally be able to come together and to experience a show like this of this magnitude. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to comment whether it's something good, bad, something I forgot, because Lord knows the internet will never, ever correct you on anything, so feel free to comment. Next time on HD's Concert Review, I'll be in Norman, Oklahoma for an outdoor event that's going to be hot as balls with the Summerland Tour 2021, featuring Everclear, Living Color, Hoobastank, and Weed Us in July. Until then, enjoy the rest of your life.